Speed went from getting kicked out of his house to becoming one of the fastest growing creators on YouTube. In just over a year, Speed went from 100,000 subscribers to over 10 million. But that growth came with a cost. The bigger Speed became, the more it took from him. Alright, so Darren did start with a master plan, at least not on the surface. At 15, Darren was streaming NBA 2K. NBA 2K was a perfect place to start. Its toxic community gave Speed a lot of funny moments to get clips from.
Bitch ass nigga! Ah, fucking damn, motherfucking damn!
Speed's early videos were not heavily edited. They didn't need to be. They were already pulling views and making him recognizable inside the 2K community. Speed had a very systematic way of creating content. He would stream long sessions and post those clips. Most clips followed the same pattern. His format was to build up tension to a funny moment, and for Speed, this strategy worked pretty well. That system helped the channel pass over 300,000 subscribers. But the part that most people miss is what this did to him off stream. When COVID hit, Darren stopped going to school and began streaming every day. It was him and the viewer. But streaming was no longer just something he wanted to do. It had to work. But his mom wanted him to quit. Speed refused, so she kicked him out. So he moved in with his dad and kept streaming.
Might seem crazy, but I got kicked out, man. I'm not in the basement, yo, bitch. Stop spamming. I'm in the basement. I'm in a whole different house. Stop thinking everything funny and shit.
But why mention this? Because viewers weren't only watching Speed grow. They saw what Darren was risking to make it work. Every stream gave them another reason to root for him.
I kind of gave up on school. I kind of gave up on everything that I had to my old life and just put everything onto my stream. I streamed every day. I didn't care about nothing else but YouTube, streaming.
People call it a character, but streaming simply brings it out. And most of his famous clips come from moments like this.
Yo, chat, why this game so fun, chat?
These.
Goodbye.
Or this. Long story short, Rage got Speed attention. Fun little psychology fact. The Journal of Consumer Research found that people tend to prefer spontaneous entertainment because it makes the performer seem more authentic. They feel like anything can happen at any moment. But spontaneity comes with a trade-off, so beware. The same research found that spontaneity can lower expectations of quality, especially when it makes the performer seem lazy or less competent. Speed turns that weakness into part of the entertainment. It's the same reason we watch prank videos. We are not watching to learn something, we are wanting to see what goes wrong. Of course, I am not advocating that you do prank videos, that would be quite the joke. Darren had to control what side of himself came out without making Speed predictable. Okay, he didn't stop being Speed, but he learned when to turn it on. You don't need a copy Speed, but you do need something that people can recognize as yourself. To understand Speed's momentum, look at this clip that changed his career.
Cristiano Ronaldo, suey. Simple as that, bro.
Online momentum usually comes from three things: clips, controversy, and culture. This clip gave him both clip potential and culture. Clip carried Speed into football culture, a global audience with its own stars, rivalries, and memes. Momentum comes from creating opportunities. These opportunities are like lottery tickets, and any one of them could win. Every stream gave Speed dozens of chances to create the next viral clip. Speed's character was so recognizable that his clips still made sense without context. By then, even lighting Pikachu-shaped fireworks in his bedroom felt completely on brand. Distribution only needed someone to repost it, and Speed's community became that distribution system. They turned each stream into TikTok, shorts, and reposts that promoted him for free. Collaborations carried those moments into even more audiences. But free distribution came with a cost. The moments that traveled the furthest were often the moments he pushed the furthest. Eventually, that same behavior created clips that began creating controversy, and this is where momentum can get muddled. The Valorant incident shows why. In April 2022, a clip circulated of Speed making sexist remarks to a female player during Valorant. Riot Games banned him from Valorant and every other Riot title. Speed apologized the next day and admitted he was wrong. The controversy did not stop the channel's growth. He had around 7 million subscribers when the clip circulated and reached 10 million that July, but that's not the point. The clip did not disappear. 7 months later, Sky Sports removed its content with Speed and stopped working with him altogether. Some comments defended Speed, saying Riot Games overreacted, while others said that Speed was being narcissistic and manipulative. No one really has immunity to what they say online. Okay, so call me controversial, but what need does controversy actually satisfy for the viewer? The consequence was bigger than a ban, obviously. People don't only watch creators for content. A creator can become a voice for a community. They can represent a version of ourselves that we feel is missing. This is why controversy forces the viewer to decide whether the creator still represents them. Speed first became known for the content, but controversy made people judge what he stood for. Online, viewers cannot see the intention behind a moment. They can only judge what was recorded. Speed could apologize and change, but the clip remained. Just a search away. Online, the moment can outlive the intention behind it, and that is the trade-off. Controversy can create attention without creating trust. If you watched my Penguin Zero video, you'll know exactly what I mean about trust and all that other stuff. It can keep a name moving while closing doors behind it. And for Speed, the channel kept growing, but everything attached to Speed, including the mistakes, grew with it. Damn. And none of it stopped the climb. On July 22nd, 2022, Speed reached 10 million subscribers. Just over a year earlier, he had 100,000. Darren estimated that he livestreamed 70% of his life. He gave the audience access to almost everything. But access is not the same as connection. Millions of people there for Speed. But Darren still had to ask if any of them were actually there.
Cause I feel alone. I feel like nobody understands me. Chat, are y'all here for me?
For Darren, that was sad. Anyways, have a happy day.